Straight ahead on 12 News, early voters turn out in droves.
I was surprised that there was this long of a line on a Friday.
What election clerks are doing to handle the demand. Then, is it really November? Local perspective on this extraordinary weather. And later, a snapshot in the life of a Cooper grad turned fashion photographer. 12 News starts right now. Hello and thanks for joining us. We are just 4 days away from the election and early voting has ramped up in a big way.
Many cities are seeing long lines and a steady stream of voters. And reporter Sonia Goen shows us what Brooklyn Park officials are doing to keep up with the overload.
The Brooklyn Park Water Treatment Facility is a very popular place for early voters.
Very high voter turnout.
Those thinking they might save time avoiding the lines on Election Day were in for a surprise.
I wanted to make sure that I got in on time to vote and avoid the lines, but that didn't really work.
The line wrapped down the hall on both sides and at times went out the door.
Very surprised. Yeah, I was only thinking 20 minutes, but I'm going on 45 minutes right now.
About 500 people per day are coming through the line.
At least if you change your mind and you don't want to wait in line, you can leave and just wait until Tuesday to vote.
Many folks packed their patience as they waited to cast their vote.
Next. I thought it was going to be maybe 20 minutes, but I'm okay with it.
So you don't mind waiting?
I don't.
If you think this line is really long, it's supposed to be even worse on Saturday. To handle the overload, they've even added an extra workstation.
The city also added 2 extra people to handle the volume.
Insert it right here.
Total ballots, absentee ballots, are about 6,400 right now. That's double the amount that we had during the 2012 presidential election.
Many people we talk with say they didn't mind standing in line. They just want this election to be over.
I'd like to turn off the commercials too. No offense on a TV person, but the commercials are getting muted every time they come on now. I've had enough.
In Brooklyn Park, Sonia Goins, 12 News.
And on Thursday, one resident even handed out water and snacks for voters standing in that long line. On Saturday, the water treatment facility will be open from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. for more early voters.
In Maple Grove, local police departments offered up a lesson on underage drinking. North Memorial and Partnership for Change sponsored a town hall on the social host ordinance. It makes it illegal for adults to host a party and knowingly provide minors with alcohol. The host does not need to be present to be charged.
Unfortunately, when you ask, we use the ordinance as a deterrent to try and encourage parents, to encourage those who consider hosting a party to think twice before they do it. It's not about us writing tickets. It's not about us getting any sort of stats or anything like that. Ultimately, it's about the community and keeping the community safe.
Meantime, Minnesota is making progress on teen alcohol abuse. According to a State Department of Health survey, nearly 37% of ninth graders consumed alcohol in 1998. Now that number is down to 11% today.
Well, the calendar says November, but it feels more like late September. The Northwest Metro is experiencing mild weather, which means people are getting a chance to be outside. And we get more on that from Eric Nelson.
We were booked solid yesterday, we're booked solid today, tomorrow, and then even Sunday with the Vikings playing. It's very busy.
Edinburgh, USA was a hot spot today. With temps hovering near 70 degrees, it was short pants weather in November as golfers teed off.
We're going to do about 125 rounds these days, and a normal November day we probably do 30 to 40 when we're open.
Golfers aren't the only ones soaking up the sun.
It is unbelievable.
Bikers and walkers took advantage of this Malibu-like weather too.
It's a treat. It's an absolute treat. You got to take advantage of it. It'll be cold here soon enough.
Tina Escrow and a friend were out pedaling, getting in some bonus biking on area trails.
I usually race in September, and my bike doesn't come out again until the following year, so I have never biked outside in November.
The normal high for November 4th in the Northwest Metro is 48 degrees.
We had a low of 37 this morning.
Even New Hope weather watcher Steve Reckers admits this is not your typical early November in Minnesota.
Get out and enjoy it. I mean, look how green the grass is this time of year. I don't know that I ever remember the grass being quite this green and lush looking this late in the year.
There is even autumn gold left to be seen as some trees still have color. Is this unusual weather a precursor to a warm winter?
We'll just have to wait and see it play out. They are expecting a mild La Nina, which oftentimes means more normal winter temperatures in Minnesota.
If you like this weather, then you're going to love the next few days. Temps are supposed to remain mild through Monday. Reporting from balmy Brooklyn Park, I'm Eric Nelson, Channel 12 News.
It's bonus time, isn't it? Edinburgh USA golf manager Don Barry says this could be a record year of revenue at the golf course because of a Ryder Cup bounce and the unusually mild weather.
Robbinsdale's Terrace Theater may be a thing of the past, but its memory lives on through a big concert this weekend. It's been about a month since a demolition crew started tearing down the 1950s-era theater. This weekend, a lineup of local musicians and bands will hold a benefit concert dubbed Rock the Terrace at the Lodge in Robbinsdale. Money raised will go to the Robbinsdale Historical Society and Friends of the Terrace to help with the cost of restoring some of the artifacts that were saved from the theater before it was demolished.
This event was actually in the process of happening when that happened already. So we decided to do a Rock the Terrace event just to kind of celebrate the memory of the Terrace Theater.
Doors open Saturday at 5 o'clock at the Lodge. Local DJ Barb Abney is emceeing the concert and silent auction and raffle. A $10 donation is suggested. For some families, this Saturday means one big thing, and that is deer hunting season opener.
Yeah, in Minnesota, there are nearly 500,000 firearm deer hunters who will head to the woods for the opener this weekend. The DNR projects a harvest of at least 165,000 deer. We found plenty of hunters gearing up at the Fleet Farm in Brooklyn Park. We asked a few of them to share why they enjoy the tradition, and the answers included one dad who recalled coaching his son on his first hunt.
And I said, okay, gently, gently, gently squeeze the trigger, not realizing that the barrel of the gun was right next to my left ear. He shot, the deer fell, and I probably couldn't hear for about a half hour.
It's always a family kind of time, father, son, brothers kind of thing. That's my favorite part about going.
We were sitting on the edge of the cornfield, and it was late at night, like 5 minutes till ending time, and deer just came out of the woods and first shot and got it.
A lot of deer blind stories. It's estimated about 70% of the deer harvest happens in the first few days of the season. Coming up, a Cooper grad whose career takes a creative turn.
And then later in sports, Heritage Christian Academy shoots for a section volleyball championship. We have the highlights.
But first, near record warmth for the Minnesota deer opener.
This next story is the perfect example that you never know where life will lead you.
Yeah, when a local girl graduated from Cooper High School a few years ago, she had no idea that she would be traveling the world as a photographer. And reporter Shannon Slatton caught up with Alex Rybarczyk after she got back from covering Fashion Week in Europe.
It started in middle school. I had a babysitter that had a camera.
There's a saying that if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life.
So this was in the Grand Palais.
Alex Rybarczyk's life took an unexpected turn.
I actually dropped out of college and pursued photography
when she decided to follow her heart.
It's really people that I am drawn to photographing, and I think it really comes down to their stories and getting to connect with them on an intimate level.
Starting out wasn't easy.
I did anything that came my way.
But then Alex got connected to a fashion blogger who needed a photographer.
She was like, hey, so I'm going to be doing the whole Fashion Week circuit at all 4 locations in New York City, London, Paris, and Milan. And she's like, would you like to tag along? And I was like, yep, I'd love to.
So Alex spent a month full of fashion weeks.
So they walk down, they do their strut, turn around, walk away.
Quickly learning that it's not always about what's on the runway. but about what else people are wearing to the show.
There's the runway section of it, but there's also a lot of the street style and photographing that.
She would go to shows and events with her black bag in tow.
And then had this, for the most part, I usually like shooting with a 50mm lens.
Working closely with her fashion blogger.
It was interesting to try and see how what they were wearing would translate into like modern trends, because I think it's more of an abstract, higher level thing that gets pulled down into what everyday people will wear.
It was an adventure that let Alex flex her creative muscles and follow a passion that never felt too much like work.
I definitely left feeling really inspired to just create.
In Minneapolis, Shannon Slatton, 12 News.
Alex's next adventure has already begun. She now has a full-time job at a creative agency in Minneapolis. We have one correction to make about early voting on Saturday in Brooklyn Park. It will be from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., not 10 to 5, as I said a minute ago. Again, that's 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. for early voting in Brooklyn Park on Saturday.
All right, excellent to know. Coming up, weekend ideas for the ladies left behind by the hunters headed for the woods.
But first, highlights from the Wayzata boys and Benilde girls trip to the state soccer finals. John Jacobson has that and more next in sports.
The Wayzata boys soccer team reached a state championship game for the 8th time in school history on Thursday. The Trojans faced another unbeaten team in the final as they took on Stillwater. In the first minute, Patrick Weah gets a chance, but a defender and goalkeeper, Fred Leclerc, combined to stop him. Later in the first half, Kohei Adams times the bouncing ball. Colin Kabinski has to make a great diving save for Wayzata. It's 0-0 at the half. Early in the second half, off a throw-in, a header, and then the ball bounces over to Coleman Farrington, and he puts it away as Stillwater grabs a 1-0 lead. Later, off a corner kick, Adams chips a ball that's off the crossbar, but hits the Wayzata defender who's in the net. It's ruled a goal. Stillwater finishes off a 22-0 season with a 2-0 win. It's Wayzata's 6th time as runner-up. Benilde St. Margaret's lost some very talented players off their state championship girls soccer team from a year ago, but the 2016 Red Knights didn't let the victories drop off very much. And Thursday afternoon, under the sunny glass roof of U.S. Bank Stadium, the Red Knights faced Mankato West for the Class A title. Benilde strikes very early. Amanda Cassidy taking a pass from Mar Noble and scoring just 25 seconds into the match. BSM fans are fired up. Their team up 1-0. Scoring chance here for the Scarlets, McKenna Boozman. Her shot stopped by Benilde keeper Claire Grazzini to keep it 1-0. Vivian Chenal sets up Noble a clean look at the net, and the Miss Soccer finalist scores, and it's 2-0 Benilde at the half. Mankato West gets their best scoring chance, and a free kick that gets away from Frazzini almost goes in the net. Scarlets think the ball was in, no goal though. It stays 2-0. West finally gets on the board for real in the second half. Crossing pass here to Rachel Lutke, who scores before crashing into the back of the net. It's a 2-1 score. And the Scarlets nearly tie it late. Lutke on a 2-on-1 shoots it past Grazzini, but just wide of the Red Knights' net. Benilde hangs on to win 2-1, and they capture their 4th state championship in the past 5 seasons. The quick goal was a huge help to the team.
I think it helped the players, especially the younger girls in the field and the first-year varsity players, to gain some confidence on the field and know that we were a really good team, that we could do it, and I think that helped a lot.
Heritage Christian Academy qualified for its first state tournament in any sport last fall when the Eagles volleyball team won the Section 4A tournament, and they were looking to make it 2 straight wins when they faced Nova Classical for the section title on Thursday. Sophie Jesuit's hit gets down, and HCA ties the score at 18 in the first set. Maddie Torvey to Bella Leon for the big kill. The Eagles win the first set 25-23. Set 2, Jordan Allen puts down an overpass for a 13-7 Eagles lead. But the set tightens up. Serafina Rivera, an ace serve for Nova, cutting the Eagles lead to 17-16. At 21-20, Margaret Wetterstrom with a huge kill for the Eagles. They go on to win the set 25-20. Set 3, Heritage sets up Leon, but Maggie Jones and Amanda Simkovich are there for the Knights block. Torby drops in a really nice hit just inside the back line, and it's 19-16 Heritage. And then on championship point, Allen's hit gets down for a kill. Heritage Christian Academy goes to state for the second year in a row. State qualifiers will find out on Sunday their opponent for the tournament quarterfinals. Saturday afternoon, Hopkins plays Wilmington Jefferson for the Section 6 3A championship at Cooper, while Champlin Park meets Wayzata for the 5 3A title at Anoka High School. And Mike and Alex, it's a busy Friday night for section football playoffs. We'll have highlights from 4 local games on our Sports Jam show on Channel 12.
All right. Thanks a lot, John. Still ahead, the antidote for women left behind by deer hunters this weekend.
We'll be right back.
This weekend, you can literally turn back time. Before you go to bed Saturday night, remember to move your clocks back 1 hour as daylight saving time comes to an end. Yes, it gives you an additional hour for sleep, and it's also a good reminder to change the batteries on your smoke alarm. Well, whether you're hunting bucks or bargains, it is going to be a beautiful weekend.
And in today's weekend showcase, Neil Persley found activities for the non-hunters left behind in the metro.
Be very, very quiet. It's deer opener weekend, and that means a lot of men in the woods and a lot of women left alone. If you find yourself a deer widow, not to worry. There's a fantastic store in Maple Grove that has something this weekend just for you.
We noticed that there's a lot of women out, we call widows, doe widows, doe weekend widows, of women who are out shopping on the weekends when their husband are out deer hunting. And we thought, hey, and somebody came up with, why don't we have a doe's weekend, no bucks allowed, and we just took off from there.
Doe's Weekend at the Woods runs Friday to Sunday. Featured for the does is a book signing Saturday from 10 a.m. to noon by Lori Evert, author of the bestseller The Christmas Wish. They'll also have food demonstrations, and the whole store is wonderfully decked out with holiday gift ideas.
However, if you're a doe who's looking to bag her buck, there's an event at the Plymouth Creek Center this weekend you may want to check out.
Rental coordinator Angie Dean has been busy as a squirrel preparing for winter, getting ready for the Wedding Expo at the Plymouth Creek Center Saturday from 11 to 2.
People are getting heavy into planning for the next year. Vendors are a little bit more available to be able to come and do these expos.
You may find more personalized attention here than at some of the larger wedding shows.
We have 38 vendors plus our 4 exclusive caterers. They consist of bakeries, DJs, wedding planners, you name it, they're probably here.
You can also find out more information on planning your wedding at the Plymouth Creek Center for weddings of up to 350 people. So does, if your buck has fled to the woods this weekend, you need not hibernate just yet. For Weekend Showcase, I'm Neil Persley, 12 News.
The Plymouth Creek Center, that's a beautiful spot, too.
And what a great weekend to get out there, absolutely.
Yeah. And that'll do it. That's it for now. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
Have a great weekend. We'll see you back here Monday at 4 o'clock.